now let's head to Maiduguri, because online a lot of people were talking about the tragedy where a lot of people woke up across the state this morning in fear after several suspected suicide bomb blasts on Monday evening killed 23 people and wounded 146. Now, in a statement out overnight, the B0mb Public Relations Officer Nahum Kenneth Dasso confirmed the latest numbers, with videos emerging online showing the aftermath of some of the explosions at the entrance of the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital and two local markets known as Post Office and Monday Market. And what we're seeing on social media is honestly just devastating. The panic of innocent citizens, health workers carrying bodies to hospitals, and this overarching fear that their community just isn't safe. Let's watch.
Subhanallah, again, bomb Monday market is aka presented. Subhanallah. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Bakin wajen security, wajen inda ake checkpoint na security. Wannan kike gani.
But as videos emerged laying out the fear and the panic, videos also emerged almost simultaneously of the security response. According to police, after the explosions, a team of tactical units and military moved in quickly to the affected areas. They conducted sweep operations, and we have video of those sweep operations. We should pull those up for you shortly. Tanks were seen moving through the community, and meanwhile, the B0mb State Governor, Babagana Zulum, condemned the explosion in a statement, saying that the recent surge in attacks is not unconnected to recent military operations against the insurgents. And I'll pull up a tweet now from someone on X, his name was Void, who wrote, 23 Nigerians went to Monday Market, walked past a hospital gate and crossed a flyover on an ordinary Monday evening in Maiduguri. They didn't survive. Maiduguri has buried its dead, rebuilt its markets, and sent its children to school through 16 consecutive years of attacks that no other Nigerian city has been asked to absorb for this long. The resilience of this city is one of the most under-documented stories in modern Nigeria. The failure to match that resilience with consistent security is one of the most over-documented ones. Rest in peace to every soul lost tonight. And Rufai, I'll come to you on this story because that last tweet kind of just laid out the amount of just crisis that the state has endured. People still live there, but where do they go from here?
The question we should ask the state, and not only this government, but successive government, is 16, 17 years down the line, since Mohammed Yusuf's case, what they said was the start of Boko Haram, why have we not been able to solve the problem of insecurity? Why is it that 16 years afterwards, it has gained traction, it has gained momentum, it has not abated? If you cast your mind back, these were the things the APC said Jonathan was incompetent for. They called him names. In fact, they said Buhari, being a general, will flush out insecurity in no time. They converted February to February. Yes. They said February is February. Love Buhari. Buhari was a hero of some sort in this country. APC was the messiah of some sorts that was coming to deliver us from incompetence. But when you check the records today, it looks as though Jonathan did a good job. Can we even say they have been able to match the extent Jonathan did? If you go and check Vice's website, there's a documentary Vice did on Strike Force 82, the embedded team with the mercenaries. How they were able to clear parts of B0mb before the elections in 2015. Today, we are seeing killings. Yes, the APC will argue that there were so many places that Boko Haram has raised its flags, but when they came, they cleared it out. When is this going to stop? We've talked about complicity. We've talked about Woro. Till today, we don't know the fate of the people in Woro. Will the government pay ransom as alleged by some foreign newspaper again? What will happen to those people? And it's not only Borno now, it's spread every part of the country. That Americans have to intervene. So the question is, as the president goes on the state visit anyway, I've said it many times, that if a thing like this happens, the president should be on ground, should be monarch-in-chief.
And to your point, I think, Iowa, before you were mentioning that the president put out a statement on...
yeah, he did.
You see, isn't it shocking that putting out a statement that become a badge of honor of incompetence? Because we keep putting out statements, does this solve the problem? I've not seen the statement, but I can predict that the statement will go after the perpetrators of these acts.
Yeah.
Did they write it there?
He did say that they were going to go against terrorism, but he first of all identified with the people, talked about the tragedy.
So they will go after the perpetrators.
Yes.
Can I ask you,
honestly, they'll be brought to justice. Because government is on top of the situation.
And then he highlighted the fact that he sent his security chiefs to Maiduguri.
Can we go back to all the statements that have been written and look for those three faces? Government is on top, we'll bring them to justice. Do they ever get to justice? We are seeing the DSS, yes, they said they are trying some people in court. But the people that did the Woro one, did they ever see justice? The people that did the KB one, have they seen justice? So because we bring one or two of them, does it mean they ever get to justice? Those that are collecting ransom, that some foreign media are claiming that the government paid ransom to, do they ever get justice? So we will see that trajectory. In fact, it's become a reflection of our incompetence every time we write those statements. We'll send the service chief. Yes, security chief. He's the security chief we voted for on the ballot. He's the one that promised to give Nigeria security. Send the vice president. He's the vice president we voted for on the ballots. He's the one that promised. He's the one that come and ask for mandates. Today, very soon now, next year, January, before now, they will start campaigning asking for mandate. They will still tell you they will end insecurity. They will bring us statistics and say they've killed this number of bandits and terrorists, but the insecurity improves. So as at that time when he's campaigning, is the vice president that we are voting for, Abi?
Can I just say, very quickly, that this issue of insecurity, every time there's an election cycle coming up, it is one of the main or key campaign promises made by candidates. And unfortunately, in the last over a decade that this menace has continued, particularly in the Northeast, we haven't seen appreciable solution to this challenge. And we've heard a lot of things that people have said. It almost seems as if there's an understanding of the problem, there's an understanding of what must be done to end the problem, but there's no will to do it. We've talked about the fact that we know where these people are, we know who the funders are, we will get them, we know how they're operating. So what is where do we bridge the gap?
Right.
Where do we bridge that gap? Because it's very...
If there's will, if there's political will, to remove certificate forgery from the electoral law as a basis to challenge election after you had a case in the Supreme Court in the last election, if there's will to remove certificate forgery and there's no will to end insecurity, then we are jokers in this nation.
For fairness, let me just state some of the highlights of the president's, because I think it's important. Earlier I'd said that we hadn't seen a response. He posted around 11 a.m. on his X account, signed personally by him, not from a spokesperson. He sympathized with them. He said that these acts of terror are final, desperate and frantic attempts by criminals and terrorist elements trying to instill and spread fear. He ended that statement with saying that Nigeria will not succumb to fear. He added some of the efforts he had made, that last weekend he had a security meeting. We talked about that security meeting here with leaders of security. He's approved additional equipment and operational support to enhance their capabilities. Service chiefs to go to Maiduguri to take charge of the situation. Again, these are not new things that we haven't seen. Yes. But, so the thing is that Nigerians have heard enough. I'm particularly sad because earlier I mentioned that Maiduguri had experienced relative peace in recent times. At some point, that Monday market was a target for suicide bombing, terrorist attacks, because it's a key hub. It's a key hub in Maiduguri. And so to imagine that the work that has been done by our security agents, by Operation Hadinkai, is being eroded by this action is very sad. Because the people of Maiduguri had actually started, you know, going back, living life at least to what it was before the terrorist attack. They praised the governor himself, Professor Zulum, for having done a lot of work. They praised the Nigerian military. So it's sad to see that the number of years of what they've been able to achieve in that region is eroded by these 3 coordinated attacks. Very sad. And so we are not yet out of the woods yet. And we need to see, not just here, the government's commitment to ending insecurity. They know the problems. They know where they are. What we now need is a political will to fix it and for them to actually do the job.
And a common thread in all of this is just the need for tangible outcomes. And of course, you know, rest in peace to everyone who lost their lives in this incredibly tragic bomb blast.